A delicious noodle meal is prepared and served to the overpowered hero and immortal king Wang Lang, but he accidentally breaks his own chopsticks due to his immeasurable power. We can see that the city of Songhai is finally recovering from the earlier demon invasion, but then one of the monsters show up to attack the humans. It seems to be seeking refuge on Earth as Wang has already destroyed the demon world. Our hero stops his meal and is about to defeat the beast, but then a mysterious girl named Yoshiko Kumiya shows up and kills it by using her chopper missiles. The next day at school, Lin Xiaoyu meets with Chen Chao and Guo Hao, both of whom are crying over the resurrection of Faction 60. They explain that they didn't do their homework over the assumption that the faction was destroyed, and then we are taken to a flashback to the previous night. Here we see that Wang was asked to restore Faction 60 with his powers in order to resume the cultivator training program. This prompted our hero to summon his trusted psychic, Froggy 2, and order him to get the job done with his demon powers. Back to the present, Sister Run Wrong makes a glamorous appearance in front of her peers, but she is quickly overshadowed by Yoshiko, who is shown to be a princess from her town of Sunland. Before we explore Wang's new adventure, here's a quick word from today's sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends. To put things simply, Raid is the most epic mobile game of all time. It's basically the RPG equivalent of the Immortal King. Apart from all the cool features that come with it, Raid also offers you over 600 champions, each with their own unique factions. You can take your pick from these factions to kickstart your journey across the mystical kingdom of Teleria. If I had to mention my favorite faction, it's gotta be the High Elves. They've got a pretty interesting origin story, as their homeland of Aravia has been around for thousands of years. After surviving the fall of the Lizardman Empire, the High Elves helped rebuild human civilizations and even defeated the evil orcs. If you want to know my favorite, it's Battle Sage, who's super popular and a total beast when it comes to her stats. Also, you happen to be in luck because Raid is going big this month. They've literally just released the Sylvan Watchers, which is a brand new faction loaded with some amazing new champions. Whether it's the Forest Elves, Ents, Druids, or Fays, they are all here, and I can't wait to summon them for my own adventure across Teleria. If you're looking for more, then Raid's got a stacked up line of events, along with a new season of their popular Forge Pass. Owning this pass is your one-way ticket to some of the most elite weapons the game has ever seen. There's no better time to get started with Raid, and if you click my link in the description or scan my QR code here on the screen, you'll get some cool bonuses worth $30. We're talking a free epic champion, Rector Draft, 200k silver, 1 energy refill, 1 XP boost, and 1 ancient shard, so you can summon awesome champions as soon as you start your game. Remember that rewards will only last for the next 30 days and are exclusively available to new players only, so tap that link and claim your Raid goodies now. Yoshiko immediately challenges Sun's popularity, but luckily the lover boy Wang shows up, so Sun runs towards him. Later we learn that Yoshiko is actually from a family of exorcists who has been accused of multiple crimes in the past. Class is about to begin, so Yoshiko's entourage formally introduces her to everyone. The princess challenges Sun once more, but then Instructor Pan arrives and tells her that she has not been allotted to Faction 60. Yoshiko is unimpressed by this sudden turn of events and consumes her top researcher with a dragon move to deal with her frustration. The exorcist girl wishes to overcome the cultivators, so she tries to gain Wang's trust with some yummy snacks from Sunland. Sun doesn't approve of her methods, but Wang is immediately turned into a slave due to the allure of her tasty treats. This prompts Sun to finally accept Yoshiko's challenge, and they decide to face off in a cooking competition. The girls organize a fancy contest with our hero serving as the main judge, while the others take part as the audience. An intense competition follows as Yoshiko goes to town on her ingredients and creates a plethora of meals. However, Sun isn't able to make anything despite added assistance from her peers. Soon enough, Yoshiko gets done with her meal and presents it to Guo, Chen, and Lin, all of whom bask in the yummy nature of her food. However, Wang doesn't seem to be very impressed by the soggy noodles, and Sun realizes that her lover boy only likes raw crispy raccoon noodles. She decides to give him exactly what he wants, and Wang loses his mind after tasting his treasured snack. He unleashes a small fraction of his powers, and the entire area blossoms with joy. It comes as no surprise that Sun is announced as the winner of the competition, and it makes Yoshiko red with anger as she was unable to defeat the most popular girl in her class. In a dream sequence, we see a frog family eagerly waiting a birthday cake to hatch from an egg. It happens to be Froggy 2's birthday, and he immediately wishes to become the Demon King. That's when he wakes up from his dream, and then he checks his doggy phone. Wang arrives to give him some dog food and wins Froggy's heart with his gesture. Our hero also asks him how to prepare a birthday party, and the next day, our heroes get to work on a surprise party. They have a look at Froggy's list, but don't seem to understand the need for a birthday egg cake. The dog demon arrives to the scene and is immediately taken away by Lin, but he seems to identify the secrecy as a cover-up for his birthday party. Now Wang opens up a portal dimension in search of a birthday egg and comes across a collection of them. He overcomes some monsters and brings back the biggest one, much to everyone's amusement. Meanwhile, Instructor Pan crosses Froggy and Lin, after which she heads to class. The demon dog panics as he fears that Pan might walk in on his surprise preparations. He immediately jumps into the class and spots the egg, but can't find the others. Pan enters the room, so Froggy acts fast and transforms into Master Zhao Yi. Using his new form, Froggy flirts with Pan and sets up a date to send her away, drooling with excitement. However, he remembers that the birthday egg might bring about a disaster if baked with the incorrect amount of heat. This is exactly what happens later, and the egg brings forth an army of alien parasites that possesses everyone inside. Things look bad, with Sun's security team also getting possessed. But Wang luckily steps in at the right time and takes care of all the monsters in a flash. He kills the main cake demon, and it causes an explosion, thus creating a giant mess. This forces Froggy to reverse the timeline with his powers and drain his life force. Regardless, he feels his sacrifice is worth it and enters the classroom with Lin, hoping for a proper birthday party. Everyone starts to sing the birthday song, but much to Froggy's dismay, it turns out all these preparations were actually for Lin and not him. Now, Wang and the boys enter a forest in search of a few special herbs, but they run into a gorilla lion monster that chases after them. A tense sequence follows, and Froggy gets trapped in the process. The demon dog is about to become the latest item on the lunch menu, but then an overpowered dragon monster arrives and burns the gorilla with his flames. Suddenly, a beast master named Tang Birdie arrives and captures the gorilla with a device that looks very similar to a Pokemon ball. That's when we learn that such creatures are called spiritual beasts, and the cultivators that capture them are called beast hunters. Tang explains his hunting desires to the team, but they don't approve of his methods, especially Guo, who runs a shop for spiritual pets. In the middle of their argument, Froggy hilariously orders the team to free him from his trap, and then they carry on with their quest. Later, our heroes come across another spiritual beast caught up in a trap, after which Froggy leads them to an injured unicorn whom they name Sylvie. The team quickly rushes the baby creature to a shrine and tries to work on his injuries. Time starts running out, but then Wang comes to the rescue once again and heals the unicorn with his powers. Unfortunately, Tang shows up with his assistant and demands our heroes to hand over the beast, as he was the one who had injured Sylvie with his trap. Guo and Chen strongly oppose this, so they challenge the hunter to a beast duel. Tang happily accepts and unleashes his dragon monster to fight Guo. The inexperienced fighter wants to use Froggy for the encounter, but he acts pricey and refuses to battle. That's when Sylvie decides to take matters into his own hands and walks into the firing line. The fight kicks off hilariously, as Guo doesn't really know any of Sylvie's skills and just blurts out random moves without any confidence. Things look tricky as the dragon delivers his heavenly fire blast, but then Wang taps into Sylvie's soul and triggers an amazing evolution. Now that he's become an overpowered unicorn, Sylvie unleashes his own unicorn blast and defeats the dragon with ease, also sending Tang into orbit in the process. The next day, we see Yoshiko, who is shown to be the mastermind behind the Beastmaster video game. She revels in the fact that her app has over 10 million downloads, but nobody cares about her achievements as Sylvie is the new talk of the town. Guo wants to bond with his unicorn some more, but he ignores him and cuddles up to Wang, whom he recognizes as his true alpha. Froggy tries to suck on some of the unicorn's blood so that he can gain healing powers, but Wang stops him in his tracks and proceeds to place a magical circle around Sylvie. Yoshiko sees Wang taking Froggy away and tries to use this opportunity to kidnap the beast, but is hilariously blown away by the protective formation. Later, Sylvie is cuddled by everyone, including Instructor Wang, and then Yoshiko comes up with an evil plan. She throws a berry ball at the unicorn, thus transforming him into a massive unicorn. Everyone panics upon seeing his new form, munching on a tree, but Inspector Wang continues to vouch for him. Unfortunately, he changes his mind when Sylvie takes a giant rainbow dump on top of him. Now Sylvie is forced to be secluded in a cabin, and the team has to leave him alone so that he can control his appetite. That's when Yoshiko arrives with her squad and tries to control the beast with her evolution stone. It leads to a hilarious sequence where Sylvie eats the stone and the gang tries to get it back from him. However, this triggers the final evolution, and Sylvie turns into a vicious monster that breaks free and wreaks havoc all over the city. Guo tries to reason with Master Zhao not to attack his spiritual pet, but is also devoured in the process. Wang doesn't want to hurt his unicorn friend, so he removes Froggy's seal and makes him transform into his true avatar. The demon dog finally becomes the demon frog and enjoys being the king once again, but he is immediately attacked by Sylvie, who proceeds to use his lightning dash. Wang remains calm and allows the unicorn to run into Froggy's belly, after which he shuts his mouth. The Demon King is forced to absorb all of Sylvie's excess energy, thus turning the unicorn back into his baby form. Now Froggy spits out Sylvie and Guo along with the evolution stone that Wang instantly destroys. However, our hero fears that the humans will treat Sylvie as a monster from now on, so he opens up a portal and takes the unicorn to his home planet, where he can finally live in peace. In a flashback to many years ago, we are at the Shanghai night market, where everyone has a nice time enjoying the festivities. A shopkeeper tries to sell a dragon-slaying sword to an unsuspecting customer, but he sees through his deception and takes his daughter Ling Ling away. However, the child seems to have a fascination for the little wooden sword on the side. Back to the present, our heroes witness a dramatic enactment of the 4 legendary sword warriors. Guo mentions a mysterious swordsman who actually defeated the epic quartet, but Chen doesn't care about the story and challenges Wang to a duel with his Li Chao sword. As expected, our hero uses his tiny wooden sword Jinke to destroy Li Chao without any hesitation. Chen cries in the background while Sun's ocean swords accidentally attack Wang and merge with Jinke. With no other option, Lin takes the team to her sister, who is an experienced sword maker. She reassures Chen that his sword can be fixed, but then Jinke quickly rushes towards her and is caressed by Sister Xiao Yu, almost as if she is his mother. That's when she reveals that Jinke is actually in his awakening stage, which is why he is feeling rebellious against his master. Now Zhao arrives with his team and is surprised to see the sword awkwardly stuck to Sister Xiao Yu's belly. Then he reveals that the 7-star squad was defeated by a mystery swordsman in white who was able to bend all their swords. Sensing an opportunity, our heroes rush to the scene, where the swordsman is dominating Yoshiko's forces as well. The princess retreats with her men, while Sun and the squad battle the mysterious woman. However, she overpowers them with ease as her sword is too strong for them. Jinke continues to be rebellious against Wang, so he can't really do anything. But then Sister Xiao Yu flirts with him, so he gets into action and defeats the mystery woman with one blow. That's when Wang identifies her as Ling Ling and immediately turns her into a sheath for Jinke. Later, Ling Ling is punished by Sister Xiao Yu for being a naughty girl, while Jinke watches on in amusement. Now we see a train carriage under attack by a team of ninja goons, secretly led by Yoshiko. They manage to steal an ancient artifact, much to Master Zhao's dismay. But then his sensei, Lord Thunder, arrives to show him that he had actually swapped the artifact with a bomb. This leads to a hilarious ending, when Yoshiko and her goons are on the receiving end of a massive explosion. The next day, the witch girl makes her way to a grand auction, while Zhao and Thunder have a brief chat upstairs. They discuss how numerous families are about to bid for the most valuable items in the world, and then they wear masks to conceal their identities. Meanwhile, Wang struggles in a card game and has to face a humiliating loss, wherein his opponents unleash the 6-armed gorilla roar upon him. Our hero has to receive a lecture as well, when his opponent taunts him for having weaker cards. Back to the auction, all the families get together and are told about the bidding rules as well as the first item, which is a magical book containing spells from generations of cultivators. Lord Thunder also points out that the book contains the forbidden spell, which is not only overpowered but also unbeatable. As the rich families place millions of dollars on the table, Wang buys a bunch of crispy noodles so that he can get more cards. That doesn't really work in his favor, so we go back to the auction where some indestructible long johns are catching everyone's attention. Zhao tries to bid for the pants, but is easily defeated by an unknown girl. However, Lord Thunder easily identifies her as Yoshiko, who is determined to rule the world with the auctioned items. Wang decides to stop sulking over his rotten luck and shifts his attention to the live auction, where the current item is the sealed white-eyed blue dragon. This happens to be the same artifact that Master Zhao and Lord Thunder were protecting in the first place. Bidding starts at 10 million spiritual coins, and it kicks off a fierce battle for wealth. An intense flexing of cash follows, where the wealthy bidders put everything on the line. Yoshiko seemingly gains the upper hand with a bid of 40 million, but to everyone's collective surprise, Lord Thunder calmly outshines her with 45 million spiritual coins. However, there's enough juice for yet another twist, as Zhao offers a hefty 87 million after getting a call from Wang. This causes Lord Thunder to lose his mind, and Wang eventually outdoes everyone with his winning bid. After the auction, Lord Thunder follows Zhao and learns that Wang is the master bidder, but is shocked to see the overpowered hero smash the seal without a care in the world. The legendary dragon makes a grand appearance and offers to fulfill any wish that Wang desires, but he simply chops away the dragon and turns him into a playing card so that he can finally get some sweet revenge from his arrogant opponent. And that's the end of part 1. Like, share, and subscribe if you want to catch part 2 as well. Hit the bell icon for regular updates and check out seasons 1 and 2 if you haven't already. Okay then, I'll see you soon.